Many Black inventors face challenges in reaping the financial benefits of their inventions due to systemic racial discrimination that hindered their access to resources, capital, and patents. Large corporations or government agencies often reap the profits of these Black inventions. George Washington Carver discovered over 300 uses for peanuts, including peanut butter. His greatest contribution was in agriculture innovation, especially rotation techniques for cotton farmers. However, Carver did not patent most of his discoveries, and he worked primarily to help farmers. He made very little money from his inventions, while larger white-owned farms reaped the financial benefit of his discoveries.
Now, I want you to listen up. Here is something that I want you to learn. A stolen identity. What is it? This is when someone uses your personal information without your permission. That is what you are going to learn today. Stolen identity. Yeah, a lot of people steal other people's identity for recognition, for money. Normally it's money, to gain favor. Yeah, a lot of people have stolen a lot of people's identity. The motive is always behind money, recognition, suppression, to support an agenda like white privilege, you know. Now, for the Africans, or rather the Black people, stolen identity is something which has been problematic for so many years, you know. There are very many Africans, Black people, let me use Black people, whose stolen identity has affected the entirety of the Black community as a whole. You know, sometimes there is someone, if you steal their identity, you don't just steal their identity. You rob other people as well, their identity. If someone, you know, so for instance, we have Black people who are inventors. We have Black people who took part in multiple inventions, you know. They contributed in the field of mathematics, they contributed in the fields of astronomy, they contributed in the domain of science, you know, but they don't go unrecognized. They go unrecognized because someone stole their identity. Now, before someone steals your identity, there is something that they need to access first about you. They access the energy surrounding you. They access the relationship around you. They access, you know, the kind of relationship also, as I said, you have with the people around you, you know. When they sense there is disunity, when they sense there is weakness brought about by disunity, they attack that part which is the weakest. It's a very old military strategy. Attack where it's weakest. Even for a big tree, just attack the roots, and the biggest of trees shall also fall. It's an Indian proverb. This is what happens. Black people have made a lot of contribution to the United States of America, but their contribution goes unrecognized because of one particular problem I realized, and we are about to realize as well. You know, we don't have unity as a Black people. We don't have that which we call black money or black dollars. We don't have that. What we have is just an individual with their money, and they can't do nothing to support another individual. This is a problematic issue that is affecting us Black people. You know, if we want to succeed, if we want to come together and work together and succeed against all these commotions we hear around, we should recognize that we can't do it alone, you know. Black identities, black inventions, things which would have pumped money to the Black community have gone unrecognized because we don't have that unity as a Black people to say we are putting money together to help the Black people. We don't have that. We really don't have it. If you know one, just tell me in the comment section. There is a sister actually who is a Black American, and she sampled and she explains reasonably this concept of stolen identity and how it affects the Black community. And she also provides a solution to this. I want us to watch this sister, and then I shall come back by the end of the video, where we shall also have a deep critical analysis.
Many Black inventors face challenges in reaping the financial benefits of their inventions due to systemic racial discrimination that hindered their access to resources, capital, and patents. Large corporations or government agencies often reap the profits of these Black inventions. George Washington Carver discovered over 300 uses for peanuts, including peanut butter. His greatest contribution was in agriculture innovation, especially rotation techniques for cotton farmers. However, Carver did not patent most of his discoveries, and he worked primarily to help farmers. He made very little money from his inventions, while larger white-owned farms reaped the financial benefit of his discoveries, creating generational wealth for their families because they had the capital to take advantage of his discoveries. Next up, we have Garrett Morgan. He invented the traffic signal, the red light, green light, yellow light, slow down, and the gas mask. Morgan sold his patent for the traffic signal to the General Electric Company, so they reaped the financial benefits from the mass production and adoption of the invention, creating what? More generational wealth for white families instead of Black ones. Morgan's gas mask was used in World War I, and he started his own business making and selling it, but still benefiting little financially because bigger companies came in and mass-produced them. Next up, we have Lewis Latimer. He invented the carbon filament for light bulbs and the process for manufacturing them, which improved the lifespan of electric light bulbs. Although Latimer made important contribution to Thomas Edison's light bulb, he did not personally benefit from the invention. He worked as a patent draftsman and engineer for Edison and other companies, but much of the financial gain went to the companies that used his patents because he didn't have the resources or capital to use them himself and build what? Generational wealth. Next, Granville T. Woods invented the multiplex telegraph, an early version of wireless communication that allowed multiple messages to be sent over the same wire. A Black man, okay? You texting? Black man invented that. Woods received patents for several of his inventions, but often struggled with patent infringement cases because they came after him for his inventions. Many of his inventions were used by larger companies, such as General Electric, which exploited his ideas without giving him significant financial compensation, and he didn't have the money to fight back. Next, we have Marie Van Britten Brown, who invented the home security system, including a camera, monitor, and remote control door lock. Brown patented the invention in 1966, but her financial gains were limited. The patent was sold to a larger company that developed the home security industry further. Because why? Because they had more capital, more resources. As with many Black inventors, she did not see substantial long-term financial rewards for her patent, for her inventions. So another opportunity for generational wealth lost. Denied by who? Anybody? Anybody got a guess? Right. Next we have Dr. Patricia Bath, who invented the laser phaco probe, an innovative technology that revolutionized eye surgery. While her invention significantly improved cataract treatment, she did not personally profit as much as she should have. The technology was widely adopted in the medical field, but much of the financial reward went to the medical institutions and companies that had the money and resources to implement the technology worldwide. I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Next, we have Otis Boykin. He invented the improved resistor used in electronic devices such as computers, guided missiles, and pacemakers. Boykin did patent his innovations, but he did not receive large-scale financial rewards. His work was incorporated into products by larger companies which profited from the widespread use of his inventions, particularly in the electronics and defense sectors. Another lost opportunity for generational wealth for Black families. Next up, we have John P. Parker, who made improvements to the industrialized furnace. Parker's contributions were significant in the industrial field, but like many Black inventors, he did not fully benefit from the financial rewards. His work was used by larger companies, so once again, no generational wealth gained. That gain went to white-owned companies. Next up, we have Henry Sampson, who invented the gamma electric cell, a technology used in the development of portable power sources such as batteries. While Sampson did not receive a significant financial windfall from his invention, surprise, surprise, he was instrumental in the development of battery technology. However, much of the economic benefits went to corporations and the military that adopted this technology. So once again, no generational wealth gained for Black families. I hope you picked up the importance of building Black capital and resources so our future patents and trademark opportunities for generational wealth cannot so easily be stolen from us. I hope you also picked up on the fact that this type of information is not taught in our schools because they don't want our Black children to know what they're capable of by learning about these real-life Black inventors, these amazing Black examples. They also don't want their children to know about our Black contributions because then they would know where their family money really came from. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Knowledge is power.
Now, after carefully listening to the sister speaking, she was really adamant, you know. She was, you could feel it in her voice, how she was speaking these things, because there's a lot that Black people have gone through in USA that the least someone wants to do to them, the last thing someone should do to them is steal their identity and their inventions as well. I steal your identity, I steal your inventions. That is what happened. Because the identity here is the inventions. Now, despite suffering through the horrific systems of slavery, this is what an American lady is saying. Sharecropping and the Jim Crow era. One of the things that people of Black ancestry faced in USA was sharecropping. And the Jim Crow era, you know what Jim Crow did to the people. You know, early African Americans had made countless contributions to science and technology. This lineage and culture of achievement, though, emerged at least 40,000 years ago in Africa. Unfortunately, few of Black people are aware of this accomplishment, as the history of Africa and beyond ancient Egypt is seldom publicized. Sadly, the vast majority of discussions on the origin of science include only the Greeks, Romans, and other white people. But in fact, most of their discoveries came through thousands of years after African developments. While the remarkable Black civilization in Egypt remains alluring, there was sophistication and impressive inventions throughout ancient sub-Saharan Africa as well. There are just a handful of scholars in this area. The most prolific is the late Ivan van Sertima, an associate professor at Rutgers University. He once poignantly wrote that the nerve of the world has been deadened for centuries to the vibration of African genius. Here, he is telling us that, give me a translation about this. This is what Ivan van Sertima said. The nerve of the world has been deadened for centuries to the vibrations of ancient African genius. Tell me what you understand by this, you know. There are many things that black people have done in the fields of science, astronomy, metallurgy and tools, architecture and medicine. We also have navigations. Yeah, there is a lot that our black community, our black brothers and sisters from the states have done that many people might go unnoticed, you know. But it is through sisters such as the one we have just listened to that we are able to learn how these things were done, how, who and what is behind who and why, you know. Many times people think that Africans do not have the minds and capabilities of making inventions. They are wrong. They are wrong. And actually, in Africa is where we had the first civilizations. Yeah, Africans were, God blessed us with the mind, you know. Now, when the white people came, I say this many times in this channel, they whitewashed our minds, you know. They colonized us and we lost that which we had. Just as Professor Ivan Van Satima said, the deadening of the earth by African genius. I don't know what it means. You share your thoughts. Yeah, I don't have much to say on this topic on this point. I hope that we can continue this discussion on the comment section. Kindly share your thoughts. I will so much love to hear from you. And see you in the next one. Support me on Patreon and see you in the next one. Thank you.